DNC Chair Ken Martin proposing a rule for party neutrality as Vice Chair David Hogg planned to spend millions finding primary challengers for incumbent Democrat lawmakers that he thinks are ineffective.
I have great respect for David Hogg. I understand what he's trying to do. As I've said to him, if you want to challenge incumbents, you're more than free to do that, but just not as an officer of the DNC, because our job is to be neutral arbiters. We can't be both the referee and also the player at the same time. You have to make a decision.
David Hogg responding, saying, quote, "They're trying to change the rules because I'm not currently breaking them. Too many of our leaders are asleep at the wheel. We have no other option but to do the hard work of holding ourselves and our party accountable." Chairman and CEO of Stagwell, Inc. and chairman of the Harris Poll, Mark Penn, joins us now. Good morning, Mark. Thanks for joining us this morning. So what do you make of this standoff within your party, and who do you think is going to win?
Well, I think that the chairman is going to be the winner. You really can't have a vice chairman who is actively undermining people within a party. I mean, that is, I think, part of the essence of a party and what the party apparatus really has to do. It has to facilitate a level playing field for people to win elections, and it's got to keep those in office who are in office as a central principle. Otherwise, it'll tear itself apart. So I think it's a non-starter that they're going to let the vice chairman undermine the party.
I think it's kind of interesting. So you have David Hogg here. He's 25 years old, threatening to throw $20 million around in order to go after Democrat incumbents because he doesn't think that they're progressive enough. And it kind of strikes you as like, wow, this guy has $20 million to throw around. How much of this do you think is an effort by David Hogg to raise more money, and how much of it do you think is effective leadership of the party?
Well, actually, I think it's representative of the fact that these primaries have been moved to dates that nobody can figure out, are dominated by activists. Even I point out AOC, when she defeated Congressman Crowley, got 15,000 votes out of a congressional district with 700,000. So $20 million could do damage here unless really we get turnout up in the primaries. That's one of the things that is moving the Democratic Party way to the left.
It's really interesting because, you think of the Democrat Party as being very effective at controlling the DNC at the level where they can ensure that, say, Joe Biden gets the nomination and nobody challenges him. But at the lower level, it's a whole lot more difficult to control those things.
Yeah, no, look, at the presidential level, usually the DNC favors whoever is the sitting president, just as it favors, there has been some cases of the DNC favoring one presidential candidate or another. So, let's face it, but you can't have somebody throwing a $20 million fund around unless they're planning on making their own party. And if they want to make their own party, they should do that.
Well, it certainly has been interesting to watch, and it'll be interesting to see where all this goes from here. Mark Penn, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.